Islam is a religion that encompasses every part of our being. What you see is what comes into your soul. What you say is a reflection of your heart. There's a great scholar, Ibn al-Qayyim, may Allah have mercy on him, who said that the tongue to the heart is like a spoon to a plate of food. And so what the tongue utters is a reflection of the state of the heart. Therefore, when the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is told about a neighbor who prays a lot, who fasts a lot, who gives extra charity, but at the same time, tu'thi jiranaha, she is abusive towards her neighbors. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, there is no good inside of her, hiya finnar, she is in the punishment. So she's going to hellfire because of what she used to say, but also on top of that, the Prophet, peace be upon him, is saying that what she used to say was a reflection of who she was on the inside. Because you can't claim to have a clean heart and a dirty tongue. You focus on cleaning the tongue and cleaning the heart simultaneously. And they talk about dental hygiene and what that looks like. That if you don't have good dental hygiene, that's going to actually affect your heart in the physical sense. The same thing is true with our spiritual hygiene and the way that we stay pure and connected. Now, one of the things that's important to keep in mind here is that what we say has to do with every single one of our societal interactions. And so, as we've been emphasizing charity, when we talk about charity, Allah says in the Quran that qawlun ma'ruf, a good word, just saying something nice to someone, is better than a charity that is followed by harm. And when you think about someone that's going to those refugee camps, that's doing good for people, if they're abusing the self-esteem of the person that they are physically feeding with their tongues or with their body language, then they're actually causing more harm. And so it's important that you think about what you say, even as you're giving in charity. Outside of charity, what you say is for or against you. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, says to us that more people will be in the fire because of the harvests of their tongue. Hasa'id al-lisan. Why does he say the harvest of your tongue? Because you say and you say and you say and you say, and there's a storage there. There's a memory there inside of the tongue. And when every single part of us testifies on the day of judgment, the tongue will have the most to ironically say about us on the day of judgment because of what we have stored in the tongue. And it's not necessarily just what you say here, it's every part of you, because now, for most of us, our fingers are our tongues. There is a saying from one of the great companions, Abu Darda, that every single person, جُعِلَ لَكَ أُذُنَانْ وَلِسَانْ, that every single person has been given 2 ears and 1 tongue. So use them in proportion. The problem is that in this day and age, with the digital technology that's available to us, we all have much more than 1 tongue. You have the tongue of your social media, the tongue of your text messaging, the tongue of your emails, and all sorts of other means of expression. And so it becomes that much more important to become conscious of what you say. And since we sin most with our tongue, siyam, fasting, allows us to be most God conscious, allows us to have most taqwa. So while we're thinking about not putting food on our tongue, we're thinking much more about not putting sinfulness on our tongue, not saying things that are harmful, not saying things that are evil, not backbiting, not gossiping, not slandering, not lying, not uttering things in vain, but instead uttering good words. The good thing about this is that it's also a good word that you could say to someone that's having a bad day, a charitable word that can uplift someone, a word of remembrance, a word of praise, a word of gratitude to your Lord that could raise your ranks in paradise in ways that nothing else could. And so we take our tongue seriously because we take everything that we have seriously. The tongue is a tool. It can become a weapon, or it could become a means of elevation for you. It could harm, or it could heal. It could utter a word of praise, or it could utter a disparaging word. The believer especially takes moments where they are more conscious of their body, even thinking about what they swallow, what they eat, to make sure that the output of that goodness that they are seeking to generate inside of them is representative of the person that they hope to be and the person that they hope to be raised up as.